Imagine someone from thousands of years ago suddenly stepping into your neighborhood. They look human, completely like us, but every breath, every bite of food, and every flicker of neon light is a threat they've never faced before. Their body isn't weak, but it's tuned for a world long gone. In this video, we're uncovering 10 hidden dangers that would hit them fast, and why those same forces are shaping you right now, every day, without you noticing. Immediate immune shock. Picture our time traveler taking their first breath on a busy city street. In that instant, countless microscopic organisms slip into their lungs and nose, organisms their immune system has never encountered. Almost 40% of the gut microbes that trained ancient immune defenses no longer exist today, leaving them unprepared for even minor modern sicknesses. What might give you a mild fever could overwhelm them completely. A simple stomach bug could spiral into septic shock. History offers grim examples, like the devastating outbreaks that swept through isolated populations during first contact with outsiders. Their immune system learned from birth to recognize familiar microbes, and without shared species, those signals fail. It's not weakness, it's a biological mismatch. For them, even a friendly handshake could be dangerous. And the same is true for what comes next. Every modern meal would be unfamiliar territory for their body. Nutritional and gut microbiome mismatch. Imagine sitting down to a plate of food where every single ingredient is unfamiliar to your body. For early humans, that's what a modern meal would be like. Their diets were made of wild plants, fibrous roots, and unprocessed meats, feeding a gut microbiome built for constant fiber and natural variety. Today's food, even the fresh produce, has been reshaped through centuries of selective breeding. Modern fruits and grains are sweeter, softer, and lower in the tough plant fibers that supported ancient gut health. Without microbiota-accessible carbohydrates, the gut's protective mucus layer can thin, leading to inflammation. Research shows dietary fiber is crucial for keeping microbial diversity strong. For them, refined sugars, oils, and preservatives would throw digestion into chaos, raising risks for chronic diseases. And beyond the nutrients themselves, these meals carry invisible compounds their systems have never met before. Sensitivity to chemicals and pollution. The first breath they take on a crowded street could expose them to more chemical variety than a lifetime in their own world. Tiny particles from exhaust, traces of industrial fumes, and microscopic plastic fibers would all be brand new to their lungs and bloodstream. None of these substances existed in their evolutionary past. Pollutants don't just stay in the air, they can alter immune function, disrupt the gut's protective barriers, and spark long-lasting inflammation. Research shows that certain airborne chemicals trigger pro-inflammatory immune responses, shift the balance of microbial communities, and even interfere with metabolism. For a body built without this chemical background, defenses could react unpredictably. Minor contact might bring on rashes, gut distress, or allergy-like symptoms. And the challenge isn't limited to what's in the air. Our world introduces another constant signal with the power to disrupt: artificial light. Altered sleep cycles. Sun goes down, but in a modern city, darkness never truly arrives. Street lamps, billboards, phone screens, all keep pouring light into the night. For someone whose body's rhythm formed around firelight, moon phases, and dawn, this glow would scramble the natural signals that tell them when to rest. Artificial light delays melatonin release, the hormone that cues sleep, which also supports immunity and mood stability. Studies link these disruptions to problems like insulin resistance and inflammation, even in people born into modern life. For them, a single night spent under bright lights could feel physically draining, like the onset of illness. Hormones, metabolism, and neural repair processes would all misfire. And that would only be part of the challenge, because the world wouldn't just be glowing at them. It would be bombarding them with an overwhelming mix of sights and sounds. Extreme sensory overload. Imagine a mind shaped to notice the faintest rustle of grass or distant bird call. Now place it in the middle of a busy intersection where car horns blare, sirens rise and fade, and flashing screens spill every color at once. Our senses evolved to pick up subtle, meaningful cues in a quiet, natural world, but modern life pushes those same channels to overload. Continuous noise and rapid visual changes can keep the body in a low-level stress state, much like animals exposed to constant disturbance. This triggers cortisol release, heightens anxiety, and makes it harder to process information clearly. For them, each moment on a modern street could feel like an active threat, draining focus and stamina. And even once the noise fades, the next challenge begins. Understanding what people are saying and what those words really mean. Language and cultural adaptation. They might look like anyone else walking down the street, but they'd be starting with zero understanding of how to interact in today's world. The capacity to learn is there. Human brains have always been quick to adapt, but modern slang, online communication, and unspoken rules would feel like an entirely separate language. Anthropologists know that people can pick up vocabulary surprisingly fast, yet reading tone, sarcasm, or social cues takes time and shared cultural context. Popular media often paints early humans as slow or simple, but they would grasp the basics well. It's the abstract layers, symbols, etiquette, and shifting meanings that would lag. In the meantime, every interaction would be a test, with confusion leading to awkward moments or misunderstandings. And the longer those gaps persisted, the more it could feed a deeper struggle. The emotional cost of not belonging, social isolation, and psychological stress. Imagine waking up every day to the sight of familiar faces, voices you've heard since birth, and a rhythm of life where everyone has a role. For our time traveler, that sudden shift to being just another stranger in a crowd would be disorienting. Modern life offers anonymity, but it also strips away the built-in support and identity of small, cooperative groups. Without those bonds, emotional stability can falter. Studies link isolation to anxiety, depression, and even PTSD-like symptoms, especially when paired with disrupted daily cycles. The loss of close connections changes how the brain regulates stress hormones and makes decisions. Paradoxically, a busy city could feel emptier than the most remote wilderness. Surrounded by thousands, they might still feel completely unseen. And once that emotional strain sets in, it often shows in the body, not just the mind. Rapid muscle atrophy. For them, movement wasn't optional, it was survival. Hours of walking, climbing, and carrying kept every muscle engaged and ready. In our world, the longest walk might be from couch to fridge, and that change happens fast. Muscles built over a lifetime can begin shrinking within weeks of inactivity, taking cardiovascular fitness down with them. Research shows that when a body used to constant exertion becomes sedentary, insulin resistance rises and fat stores increase more quickly than in those already used to low activity. Energy levels drop, everyday tasks feel heavier, and recovery from strain takes longer. Within months, they could go from sprinting over rough terrain to pausing for breath after a single flight of stairs. And as those muscles fade, the bones they once protected and supported would start to change as well. Skeletal differences and posture changes. Their bodies were built through years of walking uneven ground, climbing and carrying weight, constant load-bearing that kept bones dense and joints strong. In a world where hours are spent in chairs, that stimulus disappears. Bone tissue needs regular pressure to maintain strength, and without it, density begins to drop. Studies comparing ancient and modern skeletons show thicker joint surfaces, straighter spines, and fewer signs of hip weakness in highly active populations. By contrast, sitting for long stretches encourages forward head tilt, rounded shoulders, and shortened hip flexors, slowly reshaping posture. Over time, these changes don't just alter appearance, they affect balance, movement efficiency, and injury risk. Within only a few years, the skeletal advantages shaped over a lifetime could erode, replaced by the rounded posture common today. And even before their frame finishes shifting, the way they cover it would present a new challenge. Clothing and temperature regulation issues. Soft leather and fur would be replaced by nylon jackets, polyester shirts, and shoes with rigid soles. Indoors, air conditioning might keep one room cool, while heated subways feel almost tropical. Their body's temperature control evolved for gradual outdoor changes, not these abrupt shifts between climates. Synthetic fabrics don't breathe like animal hides, trapping heat and moisture against the skin. Modern footwear changes the way weight is carried, which subtly alters gait and muscle use. Even small variations in daily temperature exposure can influence how blood vessels respond, affecting both circulation and heat tolerance. At first, they might feel flushed and overheated in crowded, warm buildings during winter, only to shiver outside on a cool summer evening. The constant switching would challenge their body from the skin down to the blood vessels, a daily reminder that this is a different world from the inside out. Ancient resilience was perfectly fitted to a world of natural hazards, not the engineered landscape we live in now. Strength, endurance, and instinct only work when matched to the environment they evolved in. The challenges our time traveler would face, pollution, processed food, artificial light, and social disconnection, are the same forces we navigate every day, often without noticing. Our bodies still respond to them, just in quieter ways over longer periods. Think about the air you breathe, the light you see at night, and the rhythms you keep. How well have you adapted to your invisible environment, and how is it shaping you? Let us know in the comments, and don't forget to like and subscribe as we explore more hidden chapters of the human story.